So let me briefly take you on a journey with my career. So many years ago, I'm not going to mention how many years, and then I'll give away my age, okay? But many years ago, I was sitting where you're sitting, and I was Anglo Gold Ashanti bursar. I got my bursary in my second year, not in my first year. My first year, I was actually on a student loan. Why? Because my mother could not afford to bring me to WITS, and so I had to have a student loan in order to begin my first year, and I was fortunate enough to get a bursary in my second year. So I was an Anglo Gold Ashanti bursar. I worked at Anglo Gold Ashanti for 2 grueling years. And why I say grueling years is because it was going underground at a deep gold mine. And if anybody knows anything about gold mining, or if you've ever done any vac work in gold mining, you will know that gold mining is one of the toughest form of mining. They say if you can make it in a gold mine, you can make it in any mine. All right, it's a very tough job, but I did it nonetheless, okay? And then I went to go study social entrepreneurship, as it was said, all right? Social entrepreneurship is basically about looking at a business that has an impact on society. That's all it means, all right? So you have a for-profit business that has an impact on society. So that's what I studied. And believe it or not, I worked in radio, all right? I was actually an intern at YFM, and then from an intern, I worked as a copywriter. And a copywriter is somebody who writes media releases, who writes adverts, who writes station liners, who writes, so you know that saying that says Yona ki Yona Y FM, somebody wrote that, somebody came up with that, okay? So when you hear, this is the new station, what, somebody wrote that, and I used to write such liners, okay? So can you see, from geology to radio, like geology, radio. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you that life can take you different places. All right, just like geology, social entrepreneurship. Okay, very different places. Then I came back and I worked in academia. That's where I met some of you guys, all right, when I worked in academia. And working in academia, I pursued an MSc, and then I converted up to my PhD, which I pursued, but I didn't graduate, okay? One of my biggest pitfalls that happened to me, and something that created me to go into a depression before I started my own business. But I decided to do what? To fail forward, all right? And I've not given up on my dream. I'm going to get my PhD no matter what, all right? So then I started my own business. I'm a director and CEO of a company called Imbokodo Mining Services, okay? My services specialize in what's called artisanal and small-scale mining. Surely some of you, if you are in a certain level, have heard of it, especially in honors. I think you've heard about ASM by the time you're in honors level, all right? And I specialize in consulting, I specialize in research, and I specialize in what we call feasibility studies, okay? So one thing I want to show you in all this career, nothing changed. The only thing that changed, I was still me, isn't it? I didn't change and become another person. That's what I mean when I say nothing changed. But what changed is where I was in my life and where I was in the path of my life. So where you are in your life can redirect you very quickly. You can be a geology student today, take a PDM course at the WITS Business School, and become an analyst tomorrow. That your path can change very quickly, all right? And that's what I'm trying to show you with my career. And the one thing that I find is very important, I've always volunteered throughout the years. So I've been a tutor for high school students teaching English and geography, and I'm also a motivational speaker. I speak specifically to high school students. That's my predominant area where I speak motivational talks to, and I do that simply because it fulfills my soul. I feel like I'm being of service. I feel like I'm passing it forward. All right, so that's just a little bit about me.